In this video I'm going to show you guys how to make an office building in Minecraft. Now if you guys are new to the channel at all, we're here to help you build bigger and better, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Anyway guys, let's get into the tutorial. Alright then guys, so here we are on my flat tutorial world, and here is the nice blank office building. Now of course with office buildings you can build them as tall as you want, also with this one you can extend it out to the side if you want to, or make it shorter, you know, make it longer, make it shorter, whatever you guys want. Now I've actually used this one in one of my builds, which is the Dakar Cargo kind of headquarters building. I'll leave a link in the description to that episode if you want to see what I did for the interior. In terms of the dimensions for this one, it is a total of 61 blocks long, it is 21 blocks wide, and this one is actually 26 high. You could of course make it smaller, you could make it taller if you wanted to. It's totally up to you guys what you want to do. So that is the actual roof outside part of it if you're trying to fit it into like a little block somewhere. The actual building itself, so that's not including these little side bits like here, is actually 57 blocks 57 blocks long, and it's 19 blocks wide, okay? So it's kind of like in by 2 blocks on each side, as you can see right here. So in terms of the blocks, what you're going to need is grey concrete. You're also going to need a coloured block. Now I'm going to actually be doing a light blue concrete version of this one, just to see how it looks. So that's going to be this strip that you've got going up on the side, and there's also one on the side here and on here as well. So there's actually 4 of those strips, just to add a little bit of colour in. So feel free to switch that up as much as you want, really. Go with whatever you want. You're also going to need some light grey concrete as well. So we've got grey concrete, light blue concrete, or any other colour. A light grey concrete. You're going to need grey stained glass pane, light grey stained glass, light grey stained glass pane. Also polished deep slate stairs as well. We've got other blocks for details, but this is going to get us nicely started with this build. So the first thing that we're going to do, guys, is if you did, again, want to build it in this perfect rectangle, what I've got is the outer edges of this. So again, that's 61 blocks long by 21 blocks wide. What we're going to do anyway is we're actually going to do an inner part of this. So if we're going to go from the edge here, going to go to the side, we're going to go across by 19 blocks with your grey. This is just going to be a nice base layer. This will be under the windows. That's why we're building it into the floor, okay? So you can see that going on there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And put that in right there like that. Again, if you build the box, it'll just be a 1 in from the sides of those boxes. In terms of the length of this building, if you wanted it like this, now you can always tweak it as you go. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to go 57 blocks in total. But with these sections, you can see that where the repeating part comes, it's from these 3. You've then got 9 bits of glass, and you've got another 3, 9 bits of glass, 3, and then we just end up with 1 grey block at the end as part of that. So if you wanted to extend it or shorten it, you know, you could significantly shorten it if you wanted a smaller building right to like that point right there, or continue it on as much as you want. So let's do these 57 blocks now. So you've got 1. That one's already counting that 1 there, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Well, it's actually 57, so I've miscounted somewhere. If you guys do have World Edit, this will actually allow you to count to double check, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing as I fill this in. I knew I was going to miss something whenever I try and do it fast. I'm sure you guys are the same, but do get that to there. There we go, 57. So yeah, I definitely miscounted. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use World Edit for this next bit, but feel free to pause it. But we're going to go all the way over to right onto that edge there. Again, that's going to be that 19 blocks wide. And we're just going to switch in World Edit, which is a mod for Java Edition. I'm just going to do that across there. So that was 19 blocks there. And right here, we've got that 57 blocks like that there. There we go. So that's going to give you a nice base. It'll give you a profile of what the building's going to be like. And like I said, this outer bit is the roof sticking out by a couple of blocks. Okay. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to start with an edge. Now, it's up to you guys where you want to put the doors in. You can really put them in anywhere. I'm going to put them in the same place, just to keep it nice and simple. But you could, switch it up. You could have them right here. You could have them over down there, wherever you want. Wherever the doors fit for you in your Minecraft world, go with that. But yeah, what we're going to do right here is right from this corner, we're going to go up with 7 blocks in total with your grey concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to be alternating. Well, actually, we're not going to be alternating. We're going to have the bottom 2 layers being grey stained glass. Now, what I've done with this one, and you guys can change this up if you want to, not a problem. I've actually gone for 5 blocks of actual space. Let me go on to the inside for this. 5 blocks of actual space on the inner part of it for the bottom floor. So you've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've then got a ceiling block, which you can put all of your lighting in, and then you've got a flooring block for the next level. The other levels after that have only got 4 blocks. So you've got 4 blocks in here, like that. It's totally up to you guys if you want to do that, or if you want to make it bigger, or if you want to make it smaller. Again, feel free to tweak it. The design itself will work absolutely fine. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to have these 2 grey stained glass blocks. We're then going to have 2 grey stained glass pane. Then we're going to have 2 grey stained glass blocks. Then we're going to have the panes again. 2 blocks, 2 panes, and then 2 blocks. And what you should have in total is 7 blocks across in this gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 blocks of glass like that there. On top of this now, we're going to have 3 light grey stained glass on top of the glass blocks. So we're just going to do this right here like this. It just gives it a little bit of a gradient. It makes it look a little bit more interesting. We're then going to put in our light grey glass pane. I'll get that with my words eventually. Like that. So that's going to be our kind of like first level. What we're going to do on top of the this one right here is we're going to have 2 blocks of your grey concrete. Then switch over to your polished deep slate, and we're going to have a normal stair and an upside down stair. And that's just going to be over these the actual panes themselves, right? So we're going to do that there, have those upside down like that. And then in between that, we're just going to have our grey concrete, and grey concrete like that. And that's going to be the real kind of like base for this bottom layer, is going to be like this. Now to add in the colour block, so I'm again going to be using light blue. We're going to have 5 blocks. It's actually going to be out by 1. This just makes it look a little bit more interesting. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. It's up to you guys if you want to fill in the inside. What do I mean by that? So on this one right here, I've actually got 5 blocks of your grey concrete behind it. You can also just do 3 blocks. What I did for the interior of mine is it depended. It depended on what floor I was on, and then I would actually cut that out on the inside, but it's good to know that you can do that if you want to. For us, we're going to do that. We're going to put this in because it looks a little bit cleaner for the glass behind it. But yeah, build that all the way up to that. I think it was 7, wasn't it, what we said? But same height as what you've got on the other side here. And then bring that coloured block all the way up as well. And feel free to, tweak it. Change the colours. Do a couple of these. Put them around your city. Nobody will notice if you change the colours up. Or some people will. But at least with this one, you can change the shape. Make it longer, shorter, taller, all that kind of stuff. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our glass again. We're going to be back onto this grey concrete bit, and we're going to have those 2 blocks of your glass, grey stained glass pane. Now, before we had 7, this one we've got 5. Okay, so we're going to have 3 there, and then we've got 1, 4, and 5, like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to have. Now, this time we're going to have our grey, light grey concrete. We're going to have 3 of those, and that's just going to be at the same level. And this just gives it a bit of stability to your whole build. Let's build out to 7 blocks tool in total, like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with our light grey. We're going to go 3 on top of the blocks and 3 on top of the glass panes with exactly the same kind of pattern we had before. Then with our grey concrete on top of the blocks, put in your grey concrete. And then with your polished deep slate stairs, we're going to have that little upside down and normal stairs above the glass panes, like that there. So next up, we're going to do the repeating pattern. So what happens on this is we've got a total of 9 blocks of glass, then 3 of your light grey concrete. Then we've got 9 glass, 3 concrete, 9 glass, and then we've got just a block of grey concrete. So yeah, it's quite nice. So you can make this as long as you want. You can make it short as you want, really. Totally up to you guys. I would recommend at least having one section of this, otherwise it might look a little bit too short. So again, we're going to have those 2 blocks of grey stained glass. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And put in those glass panes in between, the grey first. Then your light grey stained glass is going to be on top of those, 3 of those. And then your glass panes, 3 of those in between. Somehow I'm clicking it correctly today. And then on the end, we're going to have that 3 light grey concrete, and we're going to go up to 7 high in total. So that's 2 extra on top of this. There we go. Then with your grey concrete, put those on the blocks. So the blocks, the glass blocks themselves. And then we're going to have those stairs in there like this, and upside down stairs like that there. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this. If you want it exactly the same, we're going to have 3 of those. So you need to do that another 2 times. I'm going to be using World Edit for this, so I'm just going to click here. I'm just going to do stack 2. Should do it. There we go. But feel free to pause the video and do it manually if you need to. It's not going to be a problem at all. And it just so turns out this last one's 11. It really confused me then because I stacked it, and actually, yeah, this one is just 2 more glass blocks longer. So there we go. We'll get to that. So that's 9 blocks of glass here. And we're just going to go 1 there, block there, do the light grey stained glass. We have the same thing here as well with those stairs, an upside down stair there. But finally, right at the edge here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with your grey concrete like that. There we go. So that gives us the layer. Never realised that was an extra one. That'll be for my exact world. Up to you guys if you wanted to just keep it standard or extend it. It's totally up to you guys, really. You know, it's not going to make too much difference. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to one of the sides. So right here, what we're going to do, we're going to go onto this side first. It's actually a perfect mirror of itself for the entire build, so that makes it quite nice and easy. But what we're going to do here is we're going to have 3 blocks of your grey going around the side, like this. So it's going to be same with your being a total of 7 blocks tall. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a total of 7 blocks of glass. So again, with your grey, 2 of those, leave 1, that's up to 3, it's up to 5. Then we're up to 7 there, and then do the glass panes in between. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 with a light grey, and then glass panes, light grey glass panes, light grey glass panes there. Put on top your grey concrete on the blocks, part of it. And then stairs upside down, stairs upside down, stairs upside down like that. And then finally with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to have a layer of grey concrete right next to it. And then switch over to your colour, in my case this light blue concrete. And we're going to have 5 of those, again stuck out by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to build that up. And I'm also going to fill this in behind it. Now this one, I'm pretty sure what I did in my build is I actually left this open. I think it became part of the kitchen from what I remember. But who knows? You can watch that video and see at least what's going on if you guys want to see what the interior is like. So there we go. Fill that up with your grey concrete like that. And then finally what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 blocks of your grey concrete here. So it's a mirror on from that side. You know, we have those 3 blocks of grey concrete. We're going to have the 3 blocks of grey concrete right there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to be mirroring it, okay? It's nice and easy to do. You know, you're just going to have those, you know, you can have a look over onto this side, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you go 7 blocks of glass, and go 1 there, leave a block, 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 and just build this up. So nice and easy, nice and simple. What I'm going to do, just because, you know, it'll save quite a bit of time, is I'm going to be copying this using World Edit. So I will be just taking this over to here, take it to that bit, and I'm going to do a / copy, flip, and I'm going to flip it over to my right hand side. And what I'll be able to do with this is just go to this and then paste it. And that will then give me the exact same thing. Now it's going to be the exact same thing as well with this side. So this side edge that we've actually got here, we're going to do the same thing as well. I probably could have done this in one step, but, you know, let's keep things simple for me. So what we're going to do this time, I'm going to copy it from this angle and then flip it. Okay, so what we should be able to do from here hopefully, is paste it in, and I've got it wrong. There we go, magic, got it right this time. I just flipped it to the other side instead. So that's what you're going to get, guys. Remember, you can pause the video if you guys want to get yourself caught up to this section. It's not going to be a problem at all. So feel free to do that. So next up, we're going to move on to the next floor. Like I was saying, this one has got 5 blocks of kind of space between your ceiling and your floor for the next one. And then the next ones after that, I've done 4. So you get this kind of like bigger lobby area where I had like a nice restaurant and changing rooms, meeting rooms, things like that. But you can, of course, do the same going upwards. Now the pattern is going to be pretty much exactly the same as what we've got before. It's just going to be a difference of 1 block. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 this time, not 7 like we did before. But we will have the same glass. So we're going to go with, well, almost the same glass. We're going to actually just go with 1 block of your grey. So that's going to be on those blocks there. And your same your green stained glass. You're going to put that in there like that. And then we're going to do 3 blocks of your light grey stained glass and your glass panes like this. And exactly the same thing on top. So we're going to have those 2 blocks of your concrete like this. And then your stairs, you're going to have that and flip that over like so. So you're going to end up with that. So you're just following what you got before. And that includes this nice bit here as well. So you can then, you know, build this up, put your grey behind it, or leave it out if you want extra space on your interior. No problem at all. I think some of mine on the upper floors, I ended up using the extra space for like a little bit of a meeting room kind of area. It didn't have a lot of light, that was the main thing. But there we go, you'll end up doing this kind of a thing. Now guys, you're actually going to be doing that all the way around. So it's the entire thing really is going to be the same. So when you have a look down here, you're going to go, okay, well, I'm going to do these grey blocks like this. And then you're going to go, oh, cool, I can just do the same thing here and here. So you can then just build the whole thing up quite nice and easy. Try not to get grey concrete in the wrong places though. But there we go, 1 block down the bottom. Same with your glass pane. And then 3 there, 3 there. And just have this here like that. It's one of the joys of modern building is that it's nice and repetitive, nice and simple. You can just crack on and do things like this. So yeah, there we go. Go around and do that. There we go. There we go. I'll get that down there in a second. There we go. So that's what you're going to end up doing. So do that all the way around. Now, the other thing to do is you can then duplicate that as well. So you can see from here, we've just gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 6 up to there. You can then do the same thing again, and you can do the same thing again. And that's what I'm going to do on mine. The only tweak, as you can see right here, is that we end this. But I will go all the way around my build, and then I'm just going to boost that up as well. I'm going to build the extra floor. So I'm going to go from this floor that we're building right now, all the way around. I'm going to do that another 3 times to get it to the same height. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so after quite a bit of building, and again guys, feel free to go as tall or as short as you want, but this is what you should end up having, an exact mirror of basically the bottom layer, but only with 4 blocks in between of your glass, like that. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a diorite wall, end rod, and also an iron trapdoor. So this is what we're going to use for the detailing. It's really, really simple, nice simple little pattern. So we've got the glass, let's start with this side here, we've got the nice coloured block going up. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So go all the way up the glass. Then for this one, we're going to have end rods, and we're just going to have those, of course, alternating, which luckily is nice and easy for us. And then do the same thing here. So we're just going to do it on the blocks. So we only put the bars on the blocks. And then right on the edge, we have the diorite wall. And then we're going to have iron trapdoors on the top, like this. So it just ends up capping that off quite nicely. What we're going to do above this is we're going to have iron trapdoors on the bottom, like that. And then the same exact thing. So there we go. So we get those diorite walls on the side, then end rods. Now, luckily for us, the end rods now, because it's a 4 high, I think they look better because you get this nice regular pattern. Compared with down here, we've got this extra one like there. These ones are then, you know, just got that bit there and you've got that bit there. So we're going to do that as well. And you end up just doing that all the way up. And I'm not going to show you guys that all the way up because it will take forever. But it's nice and simple, really. It is just a nice, very, very simple little pattern where we do this here. So, you know, continue that up to the top. Now actually talking about the top, let's just cut off the last block. So wherever you get to, where your basically your top floor is going to be before the roof layer, where you've got your coloured block, just knock this back by block 1 and have grey concrete behind it, just in case you've kept that for the interior. I'm going to do that on all of these 4 bits where we've got that colour showing through. Here we go, like that there. And what this will do is when we actually put the roof on, you get this really nice, like smooth looking edge around it. I just quite like the look of that overall, really. I think it looks good. Actually, while we're over here, we're also going to grab some doors. Why not? Let's put some doors on this thing. So it really depends where you want to put your doors. For me, I ended up putting mine in here. Let's actually first do some of the wall type stuff because I'm going to need to explain this bit right here. So right on the edge, again, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it actually, it's just 5. With the grey wool, put that in the middle. I know before we had it on this edge here, but we're actually going to put it right there. Then we're going to do the same thing with our iron trapdoors. And then with our end rods, have these just going our way up like this. There we go. And it doesn't look perfect, but it looks pretty good, I think, anyway. So there we go, that's what you're going to get. The iron trapdoors are going to go all the way along to here, including over this bit like that. So if you didn't want to put in a door, or actually either way for the door, right in the middle of this middle glass block, we're going to put in the diorite wall like that. But if you didn't want to have the doors right here, all you're going to do is the end rods are just going to be on these alternating blocks. And then if we want the door version here, all we'd end up doing is we'd just have them on the outside part of it. So I'm just going to do the kind of different one over here. And that's what I ended up having. Now for me, I ended up getting rid of this one right here as well because I put in double doors either side. So right here, I put in the doors right there and there as well. So we just have one block in between. Then I put in mangrove doors for this. Quite like the mangrove doors. So I ended up putting those in. Now what you'll notice is we then end up with this ugly bit here. So you end up switching out a couple of these for your glass blocks, and that includes above the doors as well. You end up with just one over there, and you end up with these 2 grey stained glass blocks right next to it. But you won't be able to tell because it all just looks nice and uniform. And you can have that right there, like that. Now, of course, you don't have to do that. You could have these doors anywhere on this building, which is quite nice. Though maybe not on the top floor, but you know what I mean. Nice and simple there. But yeah, we're just going to continue this on now, all the way to here, and then we can do that again. We can do that diorite wall, and then we have that in the middle of this glass kind of block that we've got there. And then again, you get your end rods, and we're just going to be alternating those up. I say alternating up, it of course all happens via the magic of Minecraft, so who knows if it's actually alternating up. That's the right term or not. Now, of course, we get on to the last one. So what we're going to do here, we're still going to continue with this iron trapdoor going all the way. And we're just going to leave it there. We're not going to go any further than that. We leave it right there. Then we're going to have the diorite wall going down. And then yet again, we're going to have that in the middle of those 2 gaps. But what we'll notice is then we're going to have 2 there and 2 there. And that's why I did that edge, it turns out. Just to make it look nice and neat where we have 2 end rods in between our diorite walls. So that is why that one isn't 9 at the end. It's actually an 11. So there we go. Like that. So that's what you'll end up doing. And yep, you're just going to do the exact same thing all the way up. So nice and simple. Going to go all the way across here. And then build your way up. So wherever you've got a diorite wall down here, we're going to do the same thing up here. And just bring that over to there. Diorite wall right there as well. So yeah, there we go. So guys, I want you to do that on that wall and also the opposite one as well. For the sides, they are exactly the same. We're going to do the bottom one and we're going to do this one just so that you guys can see it. But they are going to be exactly the same. So just do it on the window with your iron trapdoors. That includes on this level as well. And of course on that level as well. But all we're going to do is we're going to have your diorite wall on the edges. Diorite wall on the edges here and on the edges there. And then because of the size of the window, we're just going to have those 2 end rods. So you can see the kind of pattern that we've got throughout this office block. Nice and simple. There we go, get those in there. And get these in here and get these in here like that. And you just continue that up as well. The only thing is when you get to the top, The last one is just going to be capped off with your iron trapdoors at this level. You're not going to put any iron trapdoors in this level, okay? So that's the only thing, just in case you're thinking about that. But yep, go around the entire build now to put that in. Alright guys, so you should now have this going all the way around, and you've got all of your layers where it all looks nice and detailed. It adds a bit of colour as well, well, I say colour, adds a bit of lightness to what was a dark building before, but it's that contrast that really works quite nicely on this one. So for the roof now, what we're going to do, we're actually going to do this in a couple of different stages. What I ended up doing is I had a gravel type of roof, and in order to do that I've got just the layer below has just got some nice white concrete in there. Tell up to you guys if you want to do that. I did mostly gravel with some andesite blocks and some stone blocks as well in there. It's totally up to you guys if you want to do that. So where we end up putting that is just right here. That's going to be that lower block, because that's the ceiling one. And I'm just going to, of course, use a world edit for this to save myself some time. We can then just do, set white concrete and get that whole thing done. There's 935 blocks if you want to do it manually. So there you go, if you want to know the block count for that. And then all we're going to do right here is, like I say, I'm just going to use mostly gravel for this. I can do something like 90% gravel, and then maybe 5%. I'm going to do 1:0, which I know is a little bit of an old way of doing it, but for me, it makes things really easy. Yeah, we do need to radius on there. 100 will do. There we go. Look at that. So that will end up giving us a nice roof for it all. Actually, speaking about roofs and things like that, really. So what I ended up doing on the inside of my one is I had white concrete just on this level, and then I ended up using white wool for most of the carpet. I wanted it to actually look like carpet, so that's why I went with wool. A bit flammable, but it'll be fine. So that's what I ended up doing for that. But it's totally up to you guys what you want to do for all of those. But this just gave me, enough to put in the frog lights for our actual lighting throughout the entirety of the building. So feel free to do that. Now grab yourself, guys, for the roof part of it. It's not really a proper roof, but it has got little bits of it just to add in some detail to the whole thing. We've got smooth stone slab. We've also got some smooth stone as well. What we're going to do from here is we're going to go out with 2 slabs. So that's going to be all the way around just from here. So that's just up on that bit. And we're also going to have 1 slab right here, like that. So when we get around to a corner, we're just going to continue with that 2, like this. So it just follows the contours of the building. And you can now kind of see why we knocked down this one. Look at that. So we can actually put this in here. And then have your 1 slab going around. 1 slab going around, if I can get to it. There we go, like this. Like that there. Okay, so nice and simple. And the last thing we're going to do is with a smooth stone block, we're going to have the smooth stone block just on the inside of that slab. So there we go, you end up with it like here as well. Like this. There we go, like that there. It just gives a little bit of a natural barrier and adds in a little bit more detail. So let's do that all the way around now. So this is what you should end up with all the way around the entirety of your office building. Now don't forget about your kind of like little details and things like that on top of the roofs. We'll go through a couple of these that I've ended up putting on here. So most of them use a block of iron. I know this is going to be expensive for you guys in survival, so feel free to switch it out. But, one of the simple ones we can do is just 4 blocks there. Get some rails, put those around there. We've got some sort of a big fan kind of system. We can do a bigger version of that as well, where we can have, 3 of those like this and do it 2 high. But also, grab yourself one of your decorated pots now, whack that in there, and then put an iron trapdoor on top, and you get this kind of like smaller fan looking thing. And I ended up, you can put a rail around it if you want to, like that. We can also do, really small versions of this, where we put in a decorated pot, put that iron trapdoor on top. You could just leave it like that if you wanted to. Or if you really wanted to, you could also use trapdoors around the sides and use something called a debug stick. So you can do /give your name and then debug_stick. And we can then use that to knock this one down like that. There we go. If you want to do something like that there. In terms of the kind of, little antenna type things, we can use a polished deep slate wall, and we can just have 2 of those, and we can have 2 dark oak fences, and then we could have something like 2 iron bars. That'll look pretty good. As it goes up, it gets thinner. You can also have some of these sticking out if you want to make it look a little bit more antenna-y. It's totally up to you guys what you want to do with these things. it kind of really is what you want to do. And feel free to, make a couple of these, small ones and bigger ones, and it's totally up to you guys what you want to do. And that's all I've done for those, just variated like that. So for interior ideas, I will leave a link above and also in the description to the video where I do the interior for this one in a nice time-lapse fashion. But just one note, which is quite nice and simple, I think, is about stairs. So what I ended up doing with these stairs is 2 wide plus a block in the middle for a handrail. So we've got a nice pig picture up there. And I just had that on the side. So where you can see the glass ends right here, we've then gone back 1 block. That's ended up being the walls for those stairs. And these just go up and make their way up, and then it becomes a regular pattern after that of 3 stairs there. But what you will notice is that the bottom one, because we had that 5 blocks gap, we go up by 3, then we go up by 4 to make up for that. So it comes out a little bit further on the kind of like first floor, but on the next floor it's then back by 1, but you can't really notice, and then that's where I've got these nice elevator shafts in there. Now if you do that, you might want to end up with some roof access, which is exactly what I ended up doing on mine. And I just built this very, very simple thing here. So it just ends up, doing the same kind of pattern of these 3, and then going 1, 2, 3 as well. And I just built a little room around that. We've just got some nice, what are they called? Light grey concrete blocks. We've got some fence gates punched out here to put in a bit of detail. A little bit of a couple slabs across the top there. And then at the back, we've just got all of this cobbled deep slate going back around there with some slabs over this side. And that's just for the bit that goes around here. You can see we've got the slabs in here. And those slabs just then wrap around onto that side like that to get yourself some roof access. It's totally up to you guys if you want to do that or not have any roof access at all. But there we go, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, guys, I will see you on the next one.